Let's talk about the importance of wearing face masks. No, I don't think so. We're not getting into that. Just kidding. Do you understand what I'm talking about when I say back in the day? Well, okay. Well, back in my day, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm still having my day, but I know we used to listen to our parents say back in the day all the time and be like, yeah, 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 we hear you. Okay. And it's funny because now that I am of a certain age, I find myself saying, back in the 90s when, or the 80s were awesome or whatever. And I'm like, am I that person? Have I become that person that's like, our music was the best. Our hip hop was the best. 90s hip hop was better than this, that, and the other. So and so created this. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's funny to me because we are part of the generation where we kind of saw the diminishing of 8-track tapes, right? They went away. And it was all about the record albumin or record album. And then we saw CDs come in. And now we're at a point where MP3s and just digital music is the thing. And it's funny because we talk about our parents and all of the things, all the changes they saw when it comes to cell phones and stuff like that. But when we really come to think about it, look at the stuff that we've seen changes to. Look at the things that we have learned about. It trips me out sometime. I don't know. It just trips me out sometime. Um, I was going through some movie reels from back in the day. Back in the day. I was going through some movie reels and I came across a movie reel with some film from my 4th birthday party. And it was just so funny looking at that birthday party and seeing, oh, look how awesome things were back then, that we didn't have to be entertained the way kids right now have to be entertained. Meaning we kind of were our own entertainment. I remember playing Ring Around the Rosie, Red Rover, Red Light, Green Light, Duck Duck Goose, remember Tag, Hide and Seek. And even something as simple as going in the backyard and picking up a dandelion and blowing it. I know that's getting a little corny, but I'm just saying, just like the simplicity of it all in comparison to, I'm bored. I need to be entertained. Do you have any electronics for me to play with? What are you going to do for me? Make me laugh. What are we going to do? I want to do something fun. You know what I mean? Anyway, but I guess it was just simpler times. I was thinking about 80s music. Everybody listened to everything, you know? The MTV generation. We had our R&B, but then you had your pop, like all those English bands. Me, personally, I was a Duranie, okay? I loved Duran Duran. I don't care what anybody says. I love those boys from England. Duran Duran was my band. But I mean, we had like all those different types of English bands, and then you had like the R&B bands, all the R&B groups that were like awesome back in the day. So like when I'm talking about like Duran Duran, Thompson Twins, uh-huh, um, Men at Work, Spandau Ballet, Kaja Gugu. I mean, to me, like the list goes on and on. And then we had the SOS Band, M. Tume, the Gap Band, DeBarge, even like something like the Jets. I feel like when we are talking about uh, people and groups from back in the day, it was more of a melting pot, a more of a combination of love and flavors, if you will. I mean, right now, I think we're at a point where they do that again. We're back at that again. But what I'm saying is, I think we lost a little bit of that in the 90s, but the 80s was just awesome. And I don't know about you, but I was one of those people that was always like, they're not English. You can't hear an accent. What is it about that? Why can't you hear an accent in English people when they're singing? But then you're like, oh my gosh, they're from England. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Hello. Anyway, me and my husband are always talking about, don't be that person. Don't be that person that's always talking about your music is better than everybody else's music. Well, I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, if you grew up with it and it holds a certain type of, bond to you, and you grew up and created memories based off of this stuff, then of course it's going to be, well, my music is the best music ever. And we don't want to be the person that says, well, all the music of today sounds alike. uh, don't want to be that guy, but sometimes it kind of does sound alike. My grandmother used to call the music that I listened to back in the day Bamalam. So maybe now I'm at that point where some of this music sounds like Bamalam. I don't know, but I know when I I turn on the radio. I'm trying to give it a chance. I'm trying to be like, okay, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna love. I'm gonna learn. Who's this person? What are they trying to say? And sometimes I just can't get through it. I don't know why.